Hey, my name is Nathan Daniel. I attended a physics lecture on the physics of baseball put on by Alan Nathan. He talked about a lot of things about baseball. The two main topics he covered were pretty much when the ball hits the bat, what exactly happens, and what goes in determining how far the ball goes. And the second major thing he covered was how the ball acts in the air. So, having played baseball a lot as a kid, I was actually pretty interested in this lecture, and so I went into it expecting to, learn some cool things. I thought it was a really cool thing for him to say that that as a physicist looking into baseball, he's not trying to look into telling the players how to do their job better or anything like that. He says they've probably figured out the best way to do things based on trial and error. He doesn't want to interfere with that. What he does want to do is understand how the physics work, and just the understanding of that. I thought that was really cool.
At ACCs, he went 53.
So
I had to break like one.
he used a lot of GIFs in his PowerPoint, and a lot of them were really cool. A lot of them got kind of obnoxious when he stopped on a slide and it just repeated the same movie, 100 times. But so when you hit the ball, as he said, when you hit the ball with the bat, there are really there are two main things about it. The ball and the bat. It depends on how fast the ball is moving, and some factor about the ball and how it's made and how compressive it is, and how fast the bat is moving, and some factors about the bat, including moment of inertia and all this other stuff. And so I thought it was really interesting that the velocity of the ball and the velocity of the bat mattered more. And also corking the bat, while it does make it lighter, the bat loses, so you're able to swing it faster, the bat loses some of its property that allows the ball to go farther, so it actually kind of cancels out. Really the main difference is corking a bat just doesn't let it sting your hands as bad, but it's still outlawed. And you can modify the ball to go farther based on just humidity, which I thought was really interesting. It's part of why Colorado, they have to monitor that really carefully because the air is just so different. But I thought by far the coolest thing about this lecture was the ball's trajectory in the air. He was mainly talking about the knuckleball, which is where the ball has no spin, or rather it has very slight amounts of spin, and they're in sort of random directions. And so the ball will take random curves. Like even the pitcher doesn't know where the ball's going to go, the catcher doesn't know, the ump doesn't know, the batter doesn't know. It's a real hard pitch to hit, but it's also a real hard pitch to pitch. But the way the ball is spinning affects its trajectory in the air. And this is actually kind of a phenomenon in physics. It's not 100% understood. But essentially, when the ball rotates, like the leading edge of the ball, so if the leading edge of the ball is going down, then the ball will go down. And so I looked into it because it was the coolest thing I thought by far about this lecture. And it's called the Magnus force. And essentially what people think it is that when the ball is rotating, it's deflecting air away from the ball, creating an area of low pressure. And so it's essentially lifting the ball into that area of low pressure. So if it's top spin, the ball will be lifted down, backspin up, side spin, so on and so forth. And there's the biggest private yacht ever made, sold to some Russian billionaire, actually uses this Magnus force to control itself in the water. It has giant rotating cylinders that stick out from the side of the yacht, and it can help balance it and stuff like that. And there's also it's thought that you could make a sort of plane that can fly at really low speeds using this Magnus force, though there hasn't really been anything that successful yet. All in all, that lecture was really cool, though I don't think you'd really be into it if you weren't into baseball like I have been. But I enjoyed it a lot, learned a lot, it was really cool.